Hi friends, this is a short video on closing what I call the knowing doing gap. You know, in today's age of information and the internet, we can be only a few short clicks away from accessing knowledge about anything and everything. So the dilemma isn't can we get access to the knowledge and the information that's out there. The dilemma rather is, how do we consistently act on what we already know? And that's what I call the knowing doing gap, which is we know what to do, but do we consistently do what we know? And today is really talking to you about a few reasons why we have the knowing doing gap and what you might want to do around closing the knowing doing gap. So the $1,000,000 question is, why don't we act on things we already know? Why don't we consistently act on the things we already know? We know, for example, exercise is good for us, but do we consistently exercise? I know I'm guilty on that. We know saving money is good for us, but do we really form the habits in order to actually save for our financial future? We know, for example, spending time with ourselves, being alone, meditating, whatever that may be for you, is very beneficial, but do we do that consistently? And if most of us are really honest about that, and I surely am guilty of having knowing doing gap on many aspects of my life. So I wanted to share with you what are the reasons why we have this gap, and more importantly, how can you take some action really rapidly, really quickly on closing the gap between knowing what to do and doing what you know. So let's talk about the reasons. I believe there are 5 reasons why we all have a knowing doing gap in some area of our life. The first thing is, first reason in my mind is not wanting it badly enough. The precursor to anything that you've manifested and what I've manifested in our lives, in any area of our life, is having a burning desire. And if you don't want it badly enough, if you don't really want to achieve something badly enough, then you really don't have what I call the fuel. Because when things get hard, your why, your burning desire, your why, or badly enough, wanting something badly enough is what really keeps you going. So that's really the first reason. But some people can say, look, Rajeev, I have a very big desire, burning desire, and a strong desire to want something badly enough. But you know what, I'm not willing to pay the price. And that's really the second reason. If you're not willing to pay the price, then you're really never going to get the momentum required in taking action on what you need to close. So you may be thinking, well, what does it mean to be willing to pay the price? Well, that could be one of a number of things. It could be, forming some new habits. It could be learning some new skills. It could be, in many instances, overcoming the fear that sort of stops us. It may well be about limiting beliefs and things that are kind of holding us back. So all of these things may be the price that we have to pay. So what's the third reason? Well, someone could say, I want it badly enough. I'm willing to pay the price, but if you don't take the first step, if you don't, make that first call, if you don't take the first step into the gym to work out, if you don't, read the first book that's going to get you on the trail. So, wanting it badly enough is important, willing to pay the price is important, but you've got to take the first step. And if you're not willing to take the first step, you're really not going to make progress. The fourth reason is, you may be wanting it badly enough, willing to pay the price and also take the first step, but you know what? You don't take subsequent steps. You don't take the next steps. And you know what? That's what creates momentum. And why might you not want to do that? You may get bored. I've gone to the gym a few times. Gee, it's really not fun enough, and I'm not going to really follow through on that. Or you may think, I've done what is required and I should be able to see the results. But getting results is not about just taking the first steps. You've got to be in motion. You've got to have momentum. And so the final reason why we don't close the knowing doing gap is sometimes we're so close to achieving what we need and what we desire and what we really want to have in our lives, but we judge too soon. The difference between having the results, having excellent results to having outstanding results is sometimes just a couple of steps. So let's summarize the 5 reasons why we have the knowing doing gap. Not wanting it bad enough, which is about desire. Not willing to pay the price, which is about habits, about beliefs, about overcoming our fears. Not taking the first step, which is really getting into motion. Not taking subsequent steps, which is really staying into motion and really doing whatever it takes to get some momentum, get some traction, some motion happening, and finally judging too soon. So if these are the 5 reasons, what do you do to close the gap? Well, the key thing about wanting it bad enough is you've got to have the desire. So you've got to ask yourself, what's going to create the motion, what's going to create the momentum that I desire? What is it that it's going to take for me to want this thing badly enough? And that's the key question that only you need to ask and answer. Willing to pay the price. Ask yourself, who do I need to be in order to close this gap in my life, in this area of my life? Who do I need to be? What do I need to do? Not taking the first step. You know what? What's the first thing? What's something you can do within the next hour of making a decision that's going to really get you into motion? Not taking some, you've got to really get some momentum. What is it that you need to get momentum? Do you need to hire a coach? Do you need to read some more? Do you need to ask a friend to be a faithful coach and a partner to you? Do you need someone who can hold you accountable? Not only that, but do you need someone or something that can really keep you into motion rather than keeping you stuck? And then judging too soon, just remember, God's delays, are not His denials. So, I hope this video has been of some use to you, and I'll continue to add some more videos that I hope serve you well. And until that time, I hope you live with peace and with passion and on purpose. See you again.